Donald Trump has named his trade czar tonight. He's an Orange County College professor.
And a fierce critic of China. KCAL9 political reporter Bryan joins us now with a look at Peter Navarro from UC Irvine.
Yeah, and he's written 2 books and done a documentary attacking China's trade and economic policies, if that gives you some idea where he's coming from. The California connection to President-elect Donald Trump's economic team will guide the White House on jobs, tariffs, and getting tough with countries that are perceived to be getting over on America. But some critics charge a heavy-handed agenda could backfire, too, especially with China. The newest member of President-elect Donald Trump's economic team is UC Irvine business professor Peter Navarro, who has a Ph.D. in economics from Harvard. Navarro will be the director of trade and industrial policy and will head the White House National Trade Council, one of the most influential advisors to President Trump on trade, industrial jobs, and the economy. In an interview with our Serene Branson in August, Navarro talked about the goals of the Trump economic team.
Any trade deal must increase our growth, decrease our trade deficit, and strengthen our manufacturing base.
Navarro has been a fierce critic of China trade and economic policies, as you can see in this testimony he gave in 2007 to a House subcommittee on trade.
China is the most dangerous place to work in the world. It's the dirtiest country in the world. The problem here is that these lax standards provide real cost advantages to Chinese manufacturers. They don't have to worry about dumping toxic chemicals in rivers. They don't have to put scrubbers on their power plants. They don't have to train their people. They don't put filters in their factories. And the result is a real cost advantage.
Navarro argues that all the abuses allow China to take America's lunch when it comes to selling cheap manufactured products, killing U.S. factory jobs and reaping huge profits in the process.
Well, tell me what you see every day. More people in the street. Too bad they sent our jobs away.
In fact, Navarro directed this 2012 documentary, Death by China, which opened with a graphic of a knife being plunged into the heart of America by China. A documentary that laid out the case for Navarro's argument against China's unfair trade practices.
In China, they're not workers, they're just slaves.
If it seems like Navarro's hard line on China is right in line with Donald Trump's positions, there's a reason for that.
I don't know why we have to be bound by a one-China policy unless we make a deal with China, having to do with other things, including trade. I mean, look, we're being hurt very badly by China with devaluation.
Mr. Trump was asked what his favorite books were on China, and mine popped up in his top 10 list, and we began a correspondence.
But some academics think Navarro has gone too far in vilifying China for America's industrial decline.
When he says that China is systematically working to destroy the American economy and thereby weaken American leadership in the world, he overstates his case. The Chinese government is first and foremost concerned with their own survival.
Professor Clayton Dubey is the executive director of the USC U.S.-China Institute. He says the imposition of huge tariffs on Chinese products being sold in the U.S., as Trump has threatened and Navarro has supported, may be on the table now.
The Chinese would take the imposition of tariffs across the board on Chinese imports as the first salvo in a trade war. The difficulty that he would have in putting that forward is that we Americans are consuming so much from China, and we have benefited from our trade relationship with China. And so it's my expectation that there would be considerable pushback.
Now, many economists agree with Professor Dubey that if it comes to a tariff war, that would slash imports from China to the U.S. It would damage the American economy by bringing much higher prices for goods and services, and could even spark a consumer revolt. We tried to set up an interview with Professor Navarro this evening to ask him about this, but he was not available. Lena?